Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining me. My name is Kim and I'm a librarian at the Monroe County Public Library. And today I am excited to bring you story time. Today I am going to read you a book, we're going to sing a song, and then I'm going to tell you a story. But first, we're going to do our hello song. You remember our hello song used the sign for hello. So I've got hello, just like a salute coming off my eyebrow, hello. And it uses the sign for friends. I'm going to take my two pointy fingers and they're going to hug each other. And they're going to hug each other again. So I've got the sign for friend, and I have the sign for hello. And this is how the song goes. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. It's time to say hello. Hi, everyone. Now, I always love to sing that song to start off our story time, but today I think it's especially a great song because all of our stories today have to do with friendship and getting together with our friends, those different ways we connect with our friends. And there are so many ways to connect with our friends. Just like in this first book, Mr. Gumpy's Outing by John Burningham, we'll see that one way we can spend time with our friends is to do something together with them. So here we go. Mr. Gumpy's Outing. Oh, this is Mr. Gumpy. Mr. Gumpy owned a boat, and his house was by a river. Now I want to show you Mr. Gumpy's boat, because one thing I love about this book is all these beautiful drawings made of lines. So that's Mr. Gumpy's boat, and there's his house on the river. One day, Mr. Gumpy went out on his boat. "May we come with you?" asked the children. "Yes," said Mr. Gumpy, "if you don't squabble." So here's the children coming down to the boat. "Can I come along?" said the rabbit. "Yes, but don't hop about." "I'd like a ride," said the cat. "Very well," said Mr. Gumpy, "but you're not to chase the rabbit." "Will you take me with you?" said the dog. "Yes," said Mr. Gumpy, "but don't tease the cat." "May I please come, Mr. Gumpy?" whined the pig. "Very well, but don't muck about." "Have you a place for me?" said the sheep. "Yes, if you don't keep bleating." "Can we come too?" said the chickens. "Yes, but don't flap about," said Mr. Gumpy. Oh my goodness, his boat is getting very full. Look at this. Oh my goodness, so many animals and children and people. "Can you make room for me?" said the calf. "Yes, if you don't trample about." Now this one I want to point out because I think this is my very favorite picture in this book because the shape of this cow is just so amazing. Look at all that movement. It's like a giant letter S.
"May I join you, Mr. Gumpy?"
said the goat. "Very well, but don't kick." For a while, they all went along happily. And here we can see the very full boat with everyone inside. But then the goat kicked, the calf trampled, the chicken flapped, the sheep bleated, the pig mucked about, the dog teased the cat chased the rabbit hopped, the children squabbled, the boat tipped. What do you think happened next? The boat tipped, and into the water they fell. Oh no, do you think Mr. Gumpy's gonna be upset? Let's see. Then Mr. Gumpy and the goat and the calf and the chickens and the sheep and the pig and the dog and the cat and the rabbit and the children all swam to the bank and climbed out to dry in the hot sun. "We'll walk home across the fields," said Mr. Gumpy. "It's time for tea." And here they are, all having tea together. So Mr. Gumpy was not upset, was he? No. "Goodbye," said Mr. Gumpy. "Come for a ride another day." That's right. So Mr. Gumpy was not upset with everyone. He just accepted that sometimes accidents happen and invites them all over for tea and again another day to try again to ride. And again we have this beautiful line work drawings. I love Mr. Gumpy's Outing. It's such a fun little book, and I really love those illustrations with all those lines. And you know what? You can practice making lines. You don't need a pen or pencil to do it. And what you could do is just take your arm, reach it out, and get just your pointy finger and your middle finger together. And with your other hand, place that on your shoulder. And you can go ahead and make a line. You can make a vertical line up and down, like this. You can make a horizontal line, go side to side, like this. And you can make a circle. You could even do this to form letters. You could make, for example, the letter S, like that big cow, and go S. And when I make that letter with my hand, I'm going to go ahead and say the letter's name, and I'm also going to say that letter's sound. So I'm going to say S, 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 S. And I'm going to do that 3 times. I like that 3-time repetition to really bring that home. Now, doing this kind of practice, when you're practicing your letters and going through, that is actually called skywriting. And it is a very cool, multisensory way to practice forming your letters. And also, if you're saying the letter's name and the sound, it's also working on building that relationship between that letter's name and its sound, right? Connecting that letter with its sound. So just a really cool technique that you can try as you practice your letters. All right, and now it's time for our song. In this song, I have some little friends who are going to help me. So let's see here. I have my little friends. Hello. And they are going to help sing this song. Let's see. How many friends do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 little friends, and that is actually the name of our song, 5 Little Friends. And it goes like this. 5 little friends went out to play on a bright and sunny day. 1 little friend said, "I can't stay." And 4 little friends were left to play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 little friends went out to play on a bright and sunny day. 1 little friend said, "I can't stay." 3 little friends were left to play. 1, 2, 3. 3 little friends went out to play on a bright and sunny day. 1 little friend said, "I can't stay." And 2 little friends were left to play. 1, 2. 2 little friends went out to play on a hot and sunny day. 1 little friend said, "I can't stay." And 1 little friend was left to play. 1 little friend went out to play on a bright and sunny day. That little friend said, "I can't stay. I'll come play another day." Oh, and now there's no more friends out to play. They're all safe and sound at home. Those are 5 little friends. All right. Now the last story that I have for you today is a story that I'm going to tell orally. It's a Frog and Toad story. So one of those classic Frog and Toad stories. And we know, right, Frog and Toad, of course, they're very good friends. And so they always have great stories for us about friendship. And this story I like very much because it is called The Letter. All right, So here is Frog and Toad's the letter. One day, Toad went to visit his best friend, Frog. And when he got there, Frog was sitting on his porch and he was looking very sad. And Toad said, "What's wrong? What's wrong, Frog?" And Frog said, "Oh, today it's my sad day." "Well, why is this your sad day?" said Toad. "Because here I am outside waiting for the mail. And again, just like every other day, I have not gotten a single letter." Toad kind of looked around, a little curious, and he said, "You've never received a letter before?" "No," said Frog. No, I've never received a letter," said Frog. And Toad kind of scratched his head a little bit. He said, "Well, what are you doing out here then?" "Well, I'm just waiting. One day I'll wait, and if I wait long enough, a letter will arrive, I think." And Toad is a very good friend of Frog, so he said, "Okay, well, I'll sit with you for a while here and wait with you. Maybe a letter will come." "Okay," said Frog, "if you must." So they sat together for a while, the way friends may, and they waited and waited for the mail. And after a little while, Toad said, "Well, Frog, I need to go home. There's something I need to take care of." And Frog just kind of sighed. "Okay, well, I'll see you later, I guess." And Toad went on home. And when Toad got home, he went up to his room and he grabbed a pencil and he grabbed a piece of paper and he wrote a little note, and then he folded it up and he put it inside an envelope. And on the front of the envelope, he wrote, "A letter to Frog." And then he went outside and he gave the letter to his friend the snail. He said, Snail, can you deliver this letter to Frog?"
"Okay,"
said Snail.
"I'll get on it right away."
And so a snail went off and Toad went on back to Frog's house. But when Toad got to Frog's house, Frog wasn't sitting on his porch anymore. Toad went inside and he found Frog sleeping, taking a little nap. And Frog said, Toad, wake up, what are you doing? Why aren't you waiting for the mail?" "Oh," said Frog, "it's no use. I gave up. I'm just gonna take a nap instead. I'll never get a letter." And Frog said, "Whoa, Toad, I think something tells me you're gonna get that letter. You need to wake up. You need to wake up to see." No, said Frog. "It's no use. I just don't want to wait anymore." Come on, Frog. You have to get up. You have to see the letter," said Toad. And finally, Toad was able to kind of drag Frog out of bed and go down to wait for that letter. And they waited, and Frog sighed. "It's no use. I just want to go back to bed." "Oh, come on," said Frog. "I know you're going to get a letter today." "How can you be so sure?" said Frog. "Because, Frog, I sent you a letter." "You sent me a letter?" said Frog. "Yes, I sent you a letter." "Well, what does it say?" "It says, 'Dear Frog, you are my best friend. Signed, your best friend, Toad.'" "Whoa, that is a very nice letter," said Frog. "I shall wait here with you for it." And so together, Frog and Toad waited for the letter. And 4 days later, Snail came along and delivered the letter to Frog. And that is the end of Frog and Toad's The Letter. And that is also the end of our story time. So through story time today, we talked about lots of different ways to connect with your friends, right? You can go out in outings, you could go play outside. Of course, when it's safe, we could do those things. And sometimes, right, our friends are very far away and it's hard to talk with them or hard to connect with them. And when that happens, it's really nice to write letters or find some other ways to communicate with our technology today. So that is our story time. And before we say goodbye, we're going to do our goodbye song. And it's very similar to our hello song. We use the sign for goodbye instead of hello. And we still use that sign for friends. Right? And the song goes like this. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. It's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Have a great day, and I hope that you enjoyed this story time.